Well, hello, everybody out there in Facebook land, TikTok world, making sure my mic is on. TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, everywhere there's going to be a clip, anywhere there's going to be this spot posted. I was supposed to have something printed out for Antarctic Press, and I totally forgot, but that can happen as well. Let me put this moniker up, take that one down, pull this up real fast, and maybe we can do this. I don't know. We'll see. But happy Easter, everybody. Welcome to the show. Welcome, Mr. Roy Joe Twilight Bradley Jr. to the broadcast. You are awake this morning. Congratulations. Hopefully, you all are doing great out there in this trying time of storms and everything else that's happening right now. We do have a lot of storms happening uh, in the area. We're supposed to get some more thunderstorms today. There's been a bunch of tornadoes in this area in Arkansas here recently. Springdale got hit pretty hard. Some other areas closer to us than that. We just got a little bit of rain, hardly any wind, um, or we didn't think we had any wind. It knocked part of our fence down that we had up and about yesterday. So So yeah, there is some weather going on. But happy Easter, everybody! If you're going to go celebrate, and you can celebrate the Easter egg hunt outside, um, then by all means, have fun with that. You're eating your barbecue pork pizza for breakfast. Nice. I mean, when you wake up drunk, you got to do something. I'm kidding, folks. He's only partly drunk. Just kidding. Just kidding. No, we had a good little outing yesterday at the Everett James Tea Company, and it went pretty well. We were at a awareness program that a friend of mine, Chelsea Johnson, put on. If you saw my clip on TikTok and on Facebook, I'm trying to get it over on Instagram too, but it only allows you to do so much of it. Just like on my business page, it only allowed me to post like 15 minutes of the almost 30-minute broad recording, which I don't understand that, but it is what it is. And welcome to the show, everybody. And we're gonna try and do this influencer piece from Antarctic Press. I was gonna say AP, but it is AP because it's Antarctic Press. And but it was a 2 hour long thing from 5 to 7. Um, did the interview with her a little bit towards the end of the night, and it was pretty. It was very informative. Let you know what the program is about, who she is as a person, and what she's trying to do with the program. And it is stuff that needs to be talked about because it is happening more and more, especially in today's society. The program that she is building upon, and you can go see the video on my page if you would like to go check that out. Um, and it is a great cause, and it's a nonprofit, so it is going to build into a great big entity, and it's going to do great things for not just her because she is a good person, but it is going to help a lot of people when it all boils down to it all. So, what did you all do last night before? Were you prepping for Easter for today? Were you like, you know, did you already have everything, or did you have to run to the store and you know prep all of that goody good stuff? What did you do? What did you do to get ready for today? And welcome everybody to 412 Productions I am your host, Monty Anderson, here. And since I got so many compliments on my shirt the last time, we're going to have it on again. Yes, it has been washed, so don't worry. I am trying to pull everything up. Everything's running like pond water this morning for whatever reason. Bum, bum, bum. But no, it was a great little thing to go to. There was a art therapist there. Um, some people shared, their their mind last night. So all you had to do was just go and listen to my uh, recording that I dropped on TikTok, Facebook, and soon Instagram, where we can, you can listen to it. I already listened to it. Only thing I did was watch United Football League, UFL. So who won? Who were you watching? Do you remember? You were so drunk you probably don't even remember. Drunk on Sprite. So once I get this stuff going, we'll probably end up talking about some Antarctic Crest Ninja High School 199, the Road to 200, and we'll see what's going on in there. Do have some exciting news. A friend of mine contacted me yesterday. I believe it was yesterday. And yes, your interview recording was awesome. Much appreciated. I'm glad you listened and watched it and all that good stuff. I know I saw the heart reacts this morning when I woke up. Um, a friend of mine contacted me. He is a local movie producer, and he's wanting to do a comic book together. So that's going to be fun and exciting. It's going to be a Western horror. So be on the lookout for that. I know there's some Western horrors out there right now. And all of those goody good tap things. And so Western and horror are two of the things that people love, you know? And so we are looking forward to that. We're going to actually have a sit down meeting on the 25th to go over and line out details of it all and, see where we're going to go with this. See if it's going to be a one shot, see if it's going to be an ongoing series, those type things. And then we've got to come up with, what kind of a moniker it's going to be under. Um, you know, is it going to be under my 412 whenever I do my little corner box logo for um, my comic book? Or are we going to create a whole new entity as far as a production company goes? Because he's got his Lucid Lake Productions and I've got my 412 Productions. So, you know, we'll see how it goes. But yeah, it's going to be fun and exciting because he just out of the blue was like, "Hey, you want to do this?" And I was like, "Well, hell yeah, I want to do this. Why wouldn't I want to do this? Those type of a things. Those type of a things." I need to get that one opened up. And if this one would hurry up, we could, talk about something. I should have had this stuff printed out yesterday, but I did not. So, Roy isn't answering my question on who won the game last night because I don't think he remembers. I don't think he remembers who played. I'm challenging you, Roy, right now. But the draft is just a few days away. 5 days away as of today. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep. The 24th for NFL football, which is becoming powder puff football, in my opinion. Um, just because, you touch the quarterback. Oh, 15-yard penalty. No, that's not smash mouth football. That's, oh, I need to put Charmin on my body. Football. I'm almost finished with this other logo, and I'll be able to show it to you in a little while. And then I've got to work on the other logo as well to get it going the way he wants it. He keeps changing it, but that's okay. And I might be getting a little bit closer to figuring out my Illustrator issues. And if not, I'm going to have to find a different program that works with everything. I just hate changing programs, is what I hate. And so, all that goody good stuff out there. But I'm waiting for this download to happen. We're getting closer. We're getting closer. But it's for Ninja High School, number 199. So, lots of stuff is still happening. I've still got to, and I keep saying this almost every broadcast, that I need to get in on my voice acting recording and get it finished again, since they changed the script on me. Well, he didn't change the script. For some reason, the first script he sent out was wrong. It wasn't his updated script. And so I was right in recording it, but on the same token, it was wrong. And it was only certain aspects of it were wrong. So, but we will get it right and get it sent out to him as soon as possible, because they aren't going to film until June, I believe he said. So if that's the case, I've got a little bit of time, but I know he still wants them ASAP. So, and I'm hoping to look. I'm looking forward to doing some more with the same group, as they do an ongoing series of this Power Rangers fan group. Power Rangers fan films is what they're doing, and they're doing a series, and they're doing several different series right now. So hopefully, I get to voice over some other characters that they've got. Hopefully, they like my champ character voice enough that they use me on some other aspects of the show. So, because it's always fun to become someone else from time to time. And so, but welcome to the show, everybody. Please like, share, and follow, and I will try and do the same. I always go through and weed out all the banned accounts that no longer exist on Facebook or on TikTok. Well, I go through Facebook too, and get rid of people there as well, especially those that don't ever interact with my content. So it's always an updating process, because there's a little program out there, and thanks to June uh, and June, who brought me into that little quadrant to show who never interacts with your social medias, and you can just drop them like a bad habit. Um, it's just, why have so many people on your social medias if none of them are going to interact with you, except for maybe 10 to 15 people tops. You know, just start dropping people off of your social media, and especially off of Facebook, because if you have that many people on your Facebook, it you have to muddle through all their stuff, and you might like their stuff, but they never come back and like any of your stuff or comment on any of your items. So I'm always, you know, weeding out potential garbage, if you will, because there's stuff that you just don't want to see every day when you wake up, and you want to get to your friends list, which luckily they've made this new little tab that you can click on, and it allows you to see your friends' stuff over all the other trash that's out there that people are posting, especially since everybody wants to, basically post nothing but, political stuff on a regular basis. Which, if that's what you're doing, more power to you. I'm just not that big into the whole political scene. Yes, I know it affects our daily lives and things of that nature, but it's I don't have to keep up with it as much, because I get it all on social media, and then I go do my own research, because that's what you should do. You should go find an independent source, do your own research, and live life vicariously through that. Don't just rely on what someone put on social media to get your banter from, your one little clip that you post out there. So let me see, make sure that we are still rocking and rolling over here, and I can't tell. That has frozen for some reason. It is not catching up to me. We are running low on that side. I know you can hear me here. I'm guessing, and the pig will not calm down for whatever reason this morning. She's being a pain in the arse. And why are you just sitting? Well, it is moving. It's just going slow. For some reason, we're lagging big time over here on OBS, which means my broadcast going out to the world on Facebook is not going well right now. I think it's time to stop streaming and just record. Well, it's catching up now. It's semi catching up. Nothing wrong with political stuff. Now I likes it. UNC says good morning, Bacon Bit. Uh huh. Unk says good morning. But she's being a pain in the arse this morning. So she should have already settled down and gone back to bed. She's already had food and water. She's already been outside to pee. So she should already be back in bed and sleeping. But she's being an ass. That's our pig, if you want to know. Yes, I have a pig. I do homesteading. And no, there's nothing wrong with political stuff if that's all you want to talk about and focus on. Audrey says lie. I said ignore her. Don't pay her no mind. Hoping she comes back to bed. Yeah, she's. I'm ignoring her. I'm not going to the door or anything like that. So she can scream all she wants to, I guess. And once she realizes, hey, no food is going to happen, I got to go back to bed. I hate computers sometimes, just because. Oh, you gave her that cup of dog food. Wow, she's being a true ass this morning. Yeah, she is not calming down for some reason this morning. She is whining at the door, trying to get in, trying to get to that dog food or any food that she can get to at this point in time. I mean, she's had lettuce, she's had her food, she's had dog food, so she should be pretty content. I don't understand why she's being so angsty this morning, other than we left her alone for a little bit, yesterday. But she seemed to have done good last night. Well, for the most part, there was an accident, but yeah, no, the event, like I said yesterday, if you didn't watch the the video, you need to go watch it. It's very informative on the awareness that we're trying to spread, and it's a good thing because if it can keep somebody above dirt that you love, you know, it is a good thing. It is a good endeavor, um, because I know people struggle with that on a regular basis, and did I hit the right one? No, I did not. I'm like, why is that one opening up? Come here. What is your deal today? Good grief. And Roy Joe Bradley Jr. says, good morning, Audrey, as the pig is pounding on the door this morning. Good freaking Lord. I'm about to turn her into some breakfast food, is what's going to happen. because this is getting ridiculous. Okay, we're getting the right one opened up this morning, and thank you for being here. Welcome to the show, and we will be talking about comic books. We will be talking about real life. We'll be talking about just like the interview that we did last night with Chelsea at the tea company. We were able to talk through a lot of different things. Get to know what she's about, what her organization is about, and the hopeful tomorrow initiative is what it's called, and it is about an awareness out there that needs to be talked about, and because so many people go through different issues in life that it is imperative that it gets talked about. Um, and this one is 35 pages of goody goodness for the Ninja High School 199. Alfred Perez and Ben Dunn. Boom, boom, boom. The road to issue 200. I'm trying to see when Ninja High School started. It doesn't tell me exactly when they started Ninja High School. I'm just trying to look. Was there a good turnout last night? It was decent. I'm not going to say it was a great turnout for her first event, but it was good. And for the size of venue that it was probably the right amount. And and it was good all the way around. And I am just reading through this really fast for Ninja High School 199 since I did not print it out like I should have, and now it's being slow as snot. It won't load everything, but it's basically a Star Wars theme going on here, and it is already interesting. They're going to a galactic Comic Con, is what they're going to. So, they're dressing up as their favorite Star Trek characters and Buck Rogers characters on the front cover and things of that nature. Um, that's no moon. It's a parking garage. You got the Millennium Falcon. You've got Space 1999. You got all kinds of iconic ships from all the different movies out there. Ben Dunn did a great job on that. And we'll get some of these printed out and go from there. And it's just you got all the characters that you would see at a Comic Con. Everybody dressed up as their favorite characters. But it's very very awesome. And it's very good, very well done. So you've already got a competition started between Petunia and Tess. You don't have some of the same characters that you had in the last Ninja High School that we talked about, which is good. You do have Winnie the Pooh as Doctor Who. Do You Pooh Who? All the Do You Pooh books. You know, it's answer to your question earlier. Birmingham beat Houston 23 to 16. The Houston Renegades, right? Or is that the Renegades somebody else? I don't know. You just Googled it, even though you watched it last night. I'll see the highlights sometime today. But no, the whole event last night was good. It was, like I said, it was a more intimate setting for the very first one. You did have, X amount of people there, and the owner was very kind to give 25% discount to military and law enforcement, which was only a small handful of people in the group in the room, and so it was good, and hopefully the next one is bigger and better for her. She's wanting to do one a month or try to, and she's wanting to get it up to two times a month. So we'll see how that goes. All right, so you've got the Road to 200, the next issue, Ninja High School 200 Giant Size Special, the Decay of Convention World. So there's some things that happen in that book, and then it jumps over to the heroine in underwear, which is the Erica Chan, which we've already seen the other two versions of, where we left off, and you get her getting saved by the dude that she apparently kicked his ass of earlier, and so now we've switched over to that book, and I'm like I said, I'm going to try and print some of this out. And Roy is laughing that he just Googled it. And after I said what I said. So yeah, this is the two books. You've got your Ninja High School, and then you've got your Erica Chan, the heroine in underwear, and now she just got some more help, and so now you've created a trio of superheroes, basically. It's another fun one. It's another goodie. It's another fun one. So I don't know if I want to talk about all this today or not, or if we just hold it off until you know the next show, which would be Tuesday the 22nd. Just because I want to do it justice, and I want to have the pictures for you guys to see everything. If I start printing now, it could just throw my entire system into shock, as it's already running slow. So, but it is another continuation thereof the story. So this is not the end of Erica Chan. This is just the beginning. So it does span a few pages. Oh, excuse me. 27 through 35 is what it gets. So, excuse me. correction, it gets more than that. It gets pages 23 through 35. So almost a full 10 pages worth of story right there. Well, actually, that would be more than 10. So, of course, the typicalness um, with the who's doing the artwork, story and characters, color, translation editors, story and characters. I guess is Eric Perez, G, and Baca Store is the artist for the cover. Did a pretty good job on it on the cover of that one, and we'll, like I said, we'll get into talking about this later because I want to be fair to it. You got Rom the Space Knight in here. Wow, you got Stitch. Wow, he pulled out all the stops. I'm trying to figure out how he got all those in here. I know how he got that in there because the Glopple, um, he had him add his character in there. So, but I'm trying to figure out how he got some of these other characters in there, Mr. Ben Dunn. But we'll talk about all that on the 22nd. I'm going to give it its fair due. So I just wanted to see how it was at this point in time. And um, and it's going to be fun. It's already a fun one. And it's going to be fun. It's going to be good because, like I said, on the front cover you got Tweaky from Buck Rogers. You've got some Wookiees. You've got Star Trek costumes. You got Ultron. You got E.T. You got Doctor Who. You got all kinds of cool stuff. So we'll look forward to that one and be in on that, you know, at a later date. Just because the 22nd will be the better time to go over that. But we'll talk about last night's event a little bit more in depth. Make sure that I'm still moving and grooving right there, and I am. So, the awareness is for mental health, and you can only say certain keywords before you get restricted. So that's why I'm using mental health right there. And it is a good cause because there's so many people that lose. Um, Buck Rogers is an awesome show. I loved watching it growing up, and if I could find it, I mean, I'm pretty sure I can find it right now on one of the streaming channels out there um, to rewatch all the reruns of it, just like I'm watching the Lost in Space, the Robinsons, the Swiss Family Robinsons, as they're lost in space, trying to get back to Earth eventually. And like I said, it's kind of funny watching those because it is set in 1997, a show from 1965, and thinking what they see 1997 to look like, and then excuse me, they jump forward in time 3 years from the time they left 1997. So to the year 2000 to 2001, so 3 to 4 years in there, and the world still looks nothing like that. What they envisioned it to look like in 2000, 2001. But it's all good. Um, but no, mental health right there. Thank you for the likes. I appreciate it. Is something that needs to be talked about, not on a regular basis, but on a more normal basis. Just because there's so many people that struggle with different aspects of that in their lives. And, on my Facebook and YouTube, everybody gets to see the number of 988 right there, which is a prevention preventative hotline, and you dial not and you dial one once you do call that number, and you can talk to a live person. But you can also talk to me at any point in time. You can message me on any of this. Some of you even out there have my phone number. You can text me, call me, whatever. And if you're struggling, as we all do, you can give me a call, give me a text, all that good stuff. Um, and there's a misconception out here on TikTok right now. TikTok redid 14 of my videos for whatever reason, and it is not my birthday. My birthday isn't until September. So, and the video that is there that was redone by Facebook for whatever reason that I had to repost was uh, a year ago. So it was when I was 52. I'm 53 now currently, and will be 54 soon. So that one was almost 2 years ago. So I don't know why it revamped it or whatever, but I know I had to redo some songs because some of the songs were no longer available. So I had to pick new songs for certain videos that went out. So, um, but it made me redo 14 of my videos for whatever reason. Again, some of it was because of music was no longer available, so I had to pick new music. So it is not my birthday. So if you're going to comment, it is not my birthday. So, um, but yeah, back to the mental health out there. A lot of people again struggle with that subject because they think it's not okay to talk about. But if you're struggling with it, it's okay to talk about it because, like Chelsea said in her interview last night, it is okay to not be okay. You know, and a lot of people get that wrong because it's ingrained in them that no, I've got to be strong, or I can't show emotion, or I can't this, I can't that, I can't, all this stuff. But if you're struggling, talk to somebody. Uh, find that number one confidant friend, or just a complete stranger that like me. If you're struggling with mental health, then you can um, hit my DM. I will chit chat with you all day long um, on Facebook and YouTube. Hit my messages there. Direct message me. I don't mind to listen. I don't mind to talk and to share my side, of what I've gone through in life, you know, and there's other people that are out there that are like that, and that's why I put that 988 number out there on my other broadcast, is because you know it could save somebody from being put in the dirt, you and you are worth it, and I know a lot of people get told that they aren't, and and that's wrong because you know it's we're all people just trying to do the best we can to get through life, and to have somebody telling us that, we're not worth it, we're not worth anything, those type things. It's never a great feeling. And you can play it off, you can laugh it off and all that good stuff, but deep down it's going to hurt, you and you see it all around you on a regular basis, and it's just not cool. And the world needs to be a little bit kinder in certain aspects because of all the negativity that you see on a regular basis. Um, because every news channel portrays all the negativeness, and they barely show any of the kind stuff that happens in the world. And there's tons of kind acts that happen. You know, um, I'm trying to see if that was thunder that I was hearing just now. If it was pretty distant, but it's hard to tell. Being it bright and early on Easter morning, it could be the Easter bunny out there hiding eggs by moving cars, you know. And yes, Roy, all lives matter. Even down to a turkey who's got some bum legs that we're trying to fix. So the little baby turkey, and you know we all have struggles that we go through, and it's just some people just don't like to talk about them, and they like to bottle it all up inside, and that's wrong in and of itself as well. Because if you bottle it all up inside, eventually it's going to come out one way or another. Anger, depression, those type things. And so I'm probably going to get a restriction for using that word because I don't like to sugarcoat what I'm talking about. Just because, you know, the world gets enough sugarcoating as it is, you know. And my generation, oh, you're hurt? Rub some dirt on it. Oh, you're crying? I'll give you something to cry about. Those type things. And that's not today's society, um, where everybody gets coddled and everybody gets a participation trophy. You know, growing up, we didn't get that participation trophy. You got either first, second, or third place, and you didn't get anything after that. So, I mean, I think we did have up to fifth place winners, but whenever you had um, 10 to 15 people in an event, you know, some people didn't get those little trophies, those little lanyard thingies or whatever they were, the little ribbons. But and for everybody to get a participation trophy today is kind of ridiculous, you know, to make everybody feel good about themselves. And everybody should feel good about themselves regardless. Especially if you're in some kind of a track event or you know baseball, football as a little league or whatever. You know, you did your best. You tried. You don't need a little ribbon saying, "Hey, good job, you didn't win." And it's just how you know today's society is so soft when it comes to everything. Everybody's offended over everything nowadays. You can hold up some gorilla glue and people will be offended, you know. And because why'd they turn a gorilla into glue? And that's the mentality. Just like the lion steaks that I've seen go around. I don't know if that was a joke or what, but she became internet famous over that one. They're selling lion meat. No, they're not. Not here in this country anyway. but no, we all struggle with something, and we all need to realize that you don't know what somebody's holding onto to make themselves look okay for the day. And you know that person that's making themselves feel okay for the day, you say the wrong thing to them or do the wrong thing in their presence, that's the person that could flip out, you know. And you see it almost on a daily basis if you watch any type of news source. Shooting happened here, a stabbing happened here, a bomb went off here, so on and so forth. And you know, you don't know what someone's holding on to on the inside on a regular basis just to make themselves feel good for the day. And that one little trigger could set them off, and boom, you've got a chaotic mess on your hands that you never saw coming. And so kindness goes a long way. And I know a lot of people don't like to talk about kindness because, oh, fuck them or, whatever. And you don't like that person. You don't like this person. You don't care for this group of people, you know. And who cares what their day is like. Yeah, it's thunder out there. So the thunderstorms are rolling in for Easter. And so, again, unless the Easter bunny's out there rolling some big old Easter eggs down the street or something. And but you know, try to be a kind person. As much as you possibly can, because I know it's sometimes very difficult to be a kind-hearted person those things that, kindness goes a long way. And go watch my video with the interview with Chelsea out there. Um, because again, she's got a great organization in the Hopeful Tomorrow initiative, and we're looking forward to it doing great things. Um, we're looking forward to it exploding, and and going to a different level. Hopefully, she can get it to 2 times a month, you know, instead of just one a month. And this first one was art themed, so all of the stuff that was geared to it was for, you know, the mental health awareness and what it feels like in those situations. And, my two pieces that I contributed to it were anger and chaos. And those are out in the car, and I'm not going to go out there and grab them and all that good stuff. But I have posted them before. I don't know if I posted the finished products or not, but you've got a guy enraged. His fists are clenched. It's all red. His face is red. He's got fire for hair. And he's got all this stuff coming out from him, and it's got all these words around him, and it's just everything that makes us angry. And then chaos. She's holding her head. Her hair is everywhere in a chaotic mess. Um, and she's screaming as well because her life is in a total chaos. And that's how some of us feel on a regular basis. And you know, it's it's painful to think that some people go through life like that on a daily basis. Not getting a reprieve from any of that madness that and anger and chaos is going on inside them. And it's there's help out there if you truly seek it. And welcome back to the show, Roy Joe Bradley, Twilight Jr. And it's there's help out there if you really want to find it. If you really want to seek it, like I said, 988 and then dial 1 when prompted, or hit my DMs up, either place. Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram. We'll talk because, you're worth it. And oh, you hit a wrong button. Mhm. Sure you did. We know what you were doing over there, you dirty bird. You're making some of that content for your show. I get it. I get it. I understand. But no, seriously, if you are struggling out there with some mental health stuff, please hit us up, or dial 988 and hit number 1 when prompted. Because people will talk to you, people will hear you. You know, your voice needs to be heard. Um, and that's enough of that. So this new comic book that I'm going to be working on with a friend of mine, we're going to sit down and talk about it on the 25th, which is Friday, next Friday. Well, this coming up Friday. And it's going to be a Western horror. That's about all we can say about it. We're trying to get people excited about it and super interested in it. Um, because again, I think we're going to leave it as a one shot first to see how people take to it, and then from there we're going to see if it warrants more in depthness to it. Yeah, we've got Total Thunder going on right now, and so the dog's probably going nuts at this point in time. Phoenix getting all scared. She does that when thunder happens. Oh man, I need some more sleep. Um, so we're gonna see how it goes, see how it's well received by the peoples out there. Just like my cover, my super secret squirrel cover for another comic book company that I'm working on right now. I'm muddling through all kinds of different commissions that I'm getting right now, and trying to get this cover finished. It's about 70% finished, and I've got to keep going. I've got to keep going on it. Get it done and move forward with it, brother. But yeah, no, it's all fun. I love the the work that I'm under, you know, just because it's and yeah, it is an awesome thing. Mr. Roy Joe Twilight Bradley Jr. It's fun. I love to have the commissions coming in and the different projects coming in. The only problem I hate is that I wish there was a second one of me so that I could work on my own projects at this point in time. Um, Meaning my own comic book that I'm writing right now. 18 pages in. I know that's not very many pages in to some people, but whenever you write a comic book, happy for you, buddy. Sounds like you're getting a lot of business. Well, it would be nicer if it was paying business. I mean, the commissions that are coming in is paying. That's not a big deal, but it's the other ones that right now, like the comic book cover, the Secret Scroll one. That's not a paid gig. The project with Jason Pitts is not a paid gig at this point in time, and so it's things like that and of that nature that you wish you were getting paid, but at this point in time, it's not. Now, if certain things happen on the Super Secret Squirrel project that I'm working on for that cover right now come into play and happen, I will be getting paid off of that. Um, and the rain is pouring down right now. And it's just that I have to have so many sales of the PDF cover first before it actually moves into a live physical copy. And then from there, um, then the money starts rolling in. So, there's all kinds of different aspects of things that have to happen before um, I start seeing that royalty check of 1 cent every so often. So that's lofty goals, and then my own comic book that I'm working on. I've got to sell it myself. You know, and hopefully some more word of mouth will happen on it. Um, and that it does sell uh, a good amount, but I'm not going to hold my breath on it because you know the world is saturated with comic books. Mine might get seen, it might not get seen. And I'm hoping that it does. But working with Jason Pitts on this comic book, not the Super Secret Scroll one, but the other one, there's three different comics going on right here. I got the one with this company, the Super Secret Scroll cover project. I've got my own. You know, I'm not telling all the details to it yet, but I will. And then this one with Jason Pitts. Um, the nice thing about his is if it's written correctly, that he can take and transform that into a series or a movie because he's a movie producer. You know, and the thing about writing a comic book is you have so many panels to a page. You could have one panel, a splash page, or you could have two or three panels on one page, or you could have upwards of 10 panels to a page, which is a very lot. And and from there, you have to write in as you're writing, page one, panel one, this happens. Now, is there any words that happen? So you have to put word balloon or dialogue spot or those type things. And then panel two, this happens. Panel three, this happens. Panel four, this happens. So you're not just writing a straight story. Wow, those are some heavy winds coming up right now. Awesome, awesome. It's water in my garden right now. You are writing it in such a way that you hand the script off to somebody that your artist, and they pick it up and go, okay, this is what they want. This is how we're going to draw it up. And for me, I go into in depth with mine a little bit more than I probably should. But it's going to help me later when I come back and be like, oh, this is what I was meaning right here. And then it's going to be up to me to be like, does that really look good? You know, because I'm the one that's drawing it up. I'm writing it, I'm drawing it, I'm inking it. And so it's just like, well, does that really make sense as I transition between the panels? You know, does that flow like I want it? And then if it doesn't, you redo it, you redraw it. So it's fun and it's exciting, and I'm looking forward to it 100%. But I'm also looking forward to these other opportunities as well, because yeah, it's going to take me off of my own project or projects, because I don't know where my world is going to go, where it's going to expand to. Are different characters that are in my book going to get their own stuff? You know, those type things. So it's very one of those things that it's I'm gonna have to wait and see. I'm gonna have to wait and see how it is received by everybody out here in the world before I can say, yeah, it was a flop or it was a success. You know, it's a 4 issue miniseries on my side under 412 Productions, and um, and so I'm looking forward to it 100% because I'm excited. I want to tell you guys more about it. I want to tell you the characters. I want to show you the characters and things like that. But I'm still in production with them. You know, I've got the main character pretty much mapped out, and unfortunately, I got to find where all that is in all this mess right now. I think it's over in that corner, but I could be wrong. But you know, it is Easter Sunday. What are you guys doing? What are you guys doing for Easter Sunday? Are you going to church? Are you watching the sunrise ceremony? Or is that just on? I don't know. Some people do the sunrise ceremony. I don't know what it's going to look like today with it being rainy and stuff. But if you go to church, kudos. Go to church. Do your churchy things. If you just go hunt the Easter eggs and eat the chocolate, kudos to you on that too. You know, I've been on both sides, still on both sides. You know, won't be going to church. I'll be going to chicken. Her mom is doing some fried chicken, and we're getting together for that. Most sleeping football. Hmm. So you're not even going to chase an egg, huh? That's kind of sad, Mr. Roy Joe Twilight Bradley Jr. out there. Am I Banksy? Banksy? What? Who is that? I have no idea what you're talking about. Oh, Watana. Don't know who that is. I don't know who Banksy is. Banksy. Banksy. I'm probably going to look that up because I don't even know who that is. But no, I'm not that person. And I'm not Bonaducci either. Look us up. We don't look anything alike. Graffiti artist. No, that's not me. It'd be cool to be a graffiti artist because that would be kind of cool. I'm going to check out his work though. Oopsie. See what he's all about. Yes, that's what I was talking about. Oh, that's pretty cool. Oh, I remember that dude. Yeah, very cool. Um, very iconic. As soon as I saw that one with the person hanging out the window, uh, the lover to the girl in the window with her husband looking out. Yeah, I remember this stuff. Always does some cool different stuff. The balloon girl, the flower thrower. Yeah, some very cool stuff. But no, unfortunately, that's not me. And sorry, I didn't put a name to the or an image to the name because I know the work. I just didn't know the name. But no, very very iconic works and very cool stuff. And I've seen it around, not in my area, just on different images that I've seen on you know people have taken pictures of it in their town and things like that. But no, but thank you for putting me in that same category. Hopefully, my stuff is iconic to see, and you know exactly who did it whenever you see it. Just because I do have a signature style with my cross hatching that I do, and it is very unique, and even a colorist in the industry for Marvel and DC and Image Comics and a bunch of independents said he's never seen anything like it out there. And he works with Todd McFarlane and Jim Lee and Greg Capullo, and the list goes on of the people that he works with. And I'm talking some big names. And here I am, a little fish on a hook, and and he's complimenting my style because he's never seen anything like it before. So that's a big plus. That's an ego booster. Even though I don't let it go to my head, I just keep doing it. I just keep doing going on and moving forward with my work because that's all you can do. You can only do what you can do. So I'm looking forward to these new opportunities with the new comic book and that I'm working with Jason Pitts, a horror western. And I know that there's other horror westerns out there right now as it stands, but you know, hopefully this one will be unique, a little more unique than some. But and hopefully I can bring it to life, if you will. Uh, just because I'm going to be doing 90% of the work. He's doing 10% with the that. Well, he's probably doing 15 to 20%, and I'm doing 80. So I'll be doing all the artwork, and then he's going to be doing the promoting and the writing of the book itself, which he's got quite a bit of it written already. Not how I would write it, but that's just me. Um, because like I said, I'm pretty detailed in how I write my script out for the comic book, so that when I pick that up, I know exactly what's happening in each panel. I know where the word balloons are going, all that good stuff. I know where the little captioning titles are going, and all that stuff. So that's something I got to get him on board with, because it is a complete different writing feel than writing a movie script or a miniseries script or things like that. So I'm hoping we can get him on board with that, and I'll discuss that stuff with him as we move along and get over there and do our sit down meeting at a coffee shop over at Fort Chaffee. But I am going to leave you with it because I might not have internet or power with the way the winds or stuff are going on out there uh, here in a little bit. But I mean, I probably will. You never know. It's just an older house, older wiring, those type things. You never know. You could be in the dark here in about 2 minutes. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but it's very possible that it could happen. But happy Easter, everybody. And if you're going to go hunt Easter eggs, go hunt Easter eggs with the gusto of a child in a Batman shirt. If you're going to go to church with that same enthusiasm. If you're going to sit at home and do nothing, have that same enthusiasm. But whatever you do today, make it great. Have a fun day. And with that, as I like to say, as I leave you all, we will catch you on the flip side. Have a good day, everybody.